Give us a sense of how big a threat this is to the ongoing functioning of the WTO. Can it keep going without that appellate panel?
Well, what it does mean is that members now cannot follow the normal way of conducting their disputes. So normally you would have the panel. After the panel, you could resort to the appellate body, and then you would have the appeal itself. Now, that appeal is not going to happen any longer. So there are two types of conversations happening in Geneva. So I'm intensifying consultations to see whether we can fix that so that this regular channel continues to operate in a modified form, maybe. And the other type of conversation that is happening here is, while we don't find a solution for that, are there alternative mechanisms, other type of, stopgap mechanisms that we can set up for the countries who want to continue to have that two-step approach. And those two conversations are going to happen simultaneously. It will take a little bit of time, but we are instilling the sense of urgency that is needed now.
So when you talk about the alternative mechanism, I've read about some European countries proposing sort of an alternative sort of arbitration process that perhaps China has indicated they'd be interested in going along with. If it goes that direction, will that take care of the problem without the United States? That is to say, the United States, I presumably, would be excluded from that process.
Well, it doesn't fully take care of the problem because, of course, the United States is not likely to be in, and that's the largest economy in the world. So it is, like I said, an interim solution, a stopgap measure, something like that. The EU has been talking about this. China has been talking about this. Other important and big WTO members are also talking about that. They are discussing amongst themselves. I'm hopeful that some kind of outcome is going to come from that conversation, but I'm not sure that they already agree on what exactly they want from these conversations. So we need to figure that out too.
We are talking with Roberto Azevedo. He is Director-General of the WTO. Are there discussions going with the United States? Is there any possibility with Mr. Lighthizer, for example, to actually reconcile the problem so that the United States will go back in and start approving some members to this panel?
I think we could. But the reality is that the grievances that they have expressed, the U.S. administration, concerning the appellate body function, they're pretty significant. So we're not talking about a mere adjustment here or there. I think the kind of things that they have been talking about would require pretty significant changes in the way that the appeals would be conducted. And what we need at this point in time is understand a little bit better what would take care of those concerns that the Americans have been expressing, and also whether the type of things that are needed would be acceptable to everybody else. I think there is open-mindedness in Geneva. People are willing to explore new ideas, new solutions. People are open-minded, but we have to test. We have to see what exactly we would be talking about in terms of bridging that gap.